Welcome to the Tim Booker channel, where wisdom is worth sharing. We wish you an enjoyable listening experience. Today, I'm going to interpret a book for you called The Serendipity Mindset. The subtitle is The Art and Science of Creating Good Luck. It's a new book published in May 2023, written by Christian Bush, a business consultant and university lecturer who has spoken at events like the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, and TED. In this book, the author primarily discusses one thing: how to become a lucky person. There's a classic question: is success determined by talent or luck? In the field of scientific research, there's data showing that 30% to 50% of major scientific breakthroughs are triggered by accidents or coincidences. These could be the result of chemicals leaking or cell bindings due to contaminated cultures. Many significant scientific discoveries have their origins in such serendipitous events. Former U.S. President Obama once said that whenever he sees some successful individuals attributing their success to intelligence, he is amazed. He acknowledged that while he considers himself hardworking and reasonably talented, the world is full of smart and diligent people. The difference in achievement between individuals may depend on certain serendipitous events. If success is truly based on luck, does that mean our fate is solely determined by chance and has nothing to do with our personal efforts and actions? Of course not. For example, if a scientist had thrown away the contaminated culture, they wouldn't have seized that serendipitous opportunity. However, we must admit that many significant turning points and opportunities in life often stem from randomness. Some people seem very lucky, always meeting influential individuals and getting great opportunities. How do they do it? Can luck be created? Is there a way to grasp or even create such opportunities? The author's answer is affirmative. In this book, the author teaches us methods to manufacture good luck. While serendipity is uncontrollable and unpredictable, we can actively create an environment full of possibilities, increase the probability of serendipitous events, and keenly identify and seize opportunities. I'll interpret this book in two parts. In the first part, we'll explore whether success is determined by talent or luck. In the second part, we'll delve into specific methods to manufacture good luck. Don't delay in acquiring luck. Let's now officially dive into this book. Regarding the question of whether success is based on talent or luck, our common belief is that talent and effort are more important, while luck is a nebulous concept. But is this really the case? You may not have heard of the Ig Nobel Prize, which was established by the magazine Annals of Improbable Research in 1991 to honor scientific research that seems funny at first but is thought-provoking. For instance, why do baby ducks line up when swimming, or why don't legal documents speak in plain language? They also examine the phenomenon of heartbeats synchronizing when people fall in love. Sometimes, the awards have a dark sense of humor. Former French President Jacques Chirac received the 1995 Ig Nobel Prize for commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Hiroshima atomic bomb explosion by conducting atomic bomb tests in the Pacific Ocean. While this might sound outrageous, the Ig Nobel Prize isn't just a sensational, whimsical award. Some of the judges are actual Nobel laureates. Every October, they hold an award ceremony at Sanders Theater at Harvard University, and the recipients also give public lectures at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Some Ig Nobel Prize winners have had a sense of serendipity, going on to win real Nobel Prizes. For example, in 2000, physicist André Geim levitated a frog using magnetic levitation technology, earning the Ig Nobel Prize for Physics. In 2010, he was awarded the actual Nobel Prize for discovering graphene. In 2022, the Ig Nobel Prize in the field of economics was awarded to an Italian research team for a study titled Talent and Luck: The Role of Randomness in Success and Failure. This research team used mathematical models to conclude that, to be successful, what matters most is not talent but luck. This study originated from a common paradox: the fact that a person's talent and their wealth don't necessarily correlate. Many highly talented individuals aren't necessarily wealthy, while many wealthy individuals may not appear highly talented. We know that if you were to measure the intelligence and ability of everyone in the population using numerical values, the results would roughly follow a normal distribution, with most people falling around the mean. However, the distribution of wealth in the human world follows Pareto's law, also known as the 80-20 rule, meaning that 80% of the world's wealth is held by 20% of the population. If you were to compare the two curves, you'd find a significant disparity between them. So, this Italian research team wanted to investigate how much of an impact luck could have on a person's wealth over their lifetime. They created a mathematical model or a virtual world where 1,000 virtual individuals were randomly distributed on a 201 by 201 grid. Each individual occupied one square and had predefined attributes like intelligence, effort, education, and other personal qualities, all ranging from 0 to 1 and following a normal distribution with an average ability value of 0.6. Additionally, they all started with 10 units of money. In this virtual world, they also randomly placed green and red dots, representing events that could occur in a person's life. Green dots indicated lucky events, while red dots represented unlucky events. The virtual individuals stayed in their squares, and the green and red dots moved randomly. When an individual encountered a green dot, their money doubled. The higher their ability value, the greater the probability of doubling their money. In contrast, red dots were impartial. Regardless of an individual's talent, encountering a red dot resulted in their money being halved. Red dots represented unavoidable misfortunes like natural disasters, accidents, or illnesses. This model ran for a total of 80 rounds, simulating 40 years of work in a person's lifetime, with the possibility of major events occurring every 6 months. Over a lifetime, one might encounter 80 such significant events, which could be either lucky green dots or unlucky red dots. Remember the initial money each virtual individual had, which was 10 units. After 80 rounds of green and red dots, half of them had very little money left. The wealthiest virtual individual had a total of 2,560 units of money, but their ability value was only 0.61, quite ordinary. They kept encountering green dots and hardly any red dots. What about the person with the highest preset talent value? They had only 0.625 units of money left. The outcome of this model, from its setup to the results, may sound like a game, but the researchers calculated that the distribution of wealth among these 1,000 virtual individuals perfectly followed the 80-20 rule that we are familiar with. The researchers then ran this model 10,000 times, and each time the results consistently adhered to the 80-20 rule. This was no simple coincidence. In these 10,000 simulations, the individual with the most wealth usually had an ability value between 0.55 and 0.75, slightly above the middle. This shows that the most successful people are not necessarily the most talented, and the most talented individuals are not necessarily the most successful. The researchers concluded that an individual's success is not necessarily linked to their talent, luck is the decisive factor. However, a person's real life is much more complex, and this study may not fully simulate a person's life. But it at least serves as a reminder that luck, or serendipity, in our lives might be significantly underestimated. This doesn't mean we can simply leave everything to chance. Firstly, you need to position yourself as someone with abilities slightly above the middle. Secondly, you need to increase the probability of good luck happening. Remember the model setting, individuals with higher talent values had a higher chance of seizing opportunities when they encountered green dots. In other words, luck alone is not enough, you must also possess the ability to recognize and seize opportunities to make lucky events happen. Consider the invention of post-it notes. In the 1970s, a researcher at the consumer goods company 3M was trying to invent a stronger adhesive. However, the adhesive he developed didn't meet expectations, it was too weak. Ironically, this weak adhesive was perfect for a new product 3M was developing called post-it notes. The researcher's accidental discovery propelled the invention of post-it notes. A similar story is that of a chemical group that wanted to sell a glass coating that improved transparency and reduced glare. The sales of this coating weren't doing well. However, when the project manager was about to give up on it, he got inspired during a conversation with a colleague from another department. It turned out that this coating technology was a perfect fit for solar panels that needed to collect as much sunlight as possible. This discovery significantly boosted the company's solar business. In both of these stories, the researchers and project managers were seemingly lucky, but more importantly, they maintained an open attitude to unexpected situations and were keen to recognize hidden opportunities. So, let's move on to the practical section and discuss specific methods to create good luck. A highly debated study published in a scientific journal once discussed the idea that serendipity can be catalyzed. Two chemistry professors from Princeton University suggested that chance events can be influenced. Typically, scientific research begins with the assumption that certain molecules will react chemically, and the goal is to facilitate this reaction. However, these researchers approached the problem from the opposite direction. They selected chemicals that had never reacted before and observed any unexpected reactions between them. This led to the discovery of valuable new drugs. The researchers believe that serendipity falls within the realm of probability theory. By increasing the number of chemical reactions in a controlled environment, the probability of favorable chemical reactions occurring also increases. To illustrate this, consider it as sending out multiple job applications. The more you send out, the higher the chances of receiving positive responses. Increasing the number of attempts naturally raises the probability of success. From a probability theory perspective, the first step in increasing good luck is stepping out of your comfort zone. Maintain an open attitude, expand your exposure to the outside world, and increase your frequency of interaction. When it comes to increasing serendipity, one of the world's largest tech gatherings, the Internet Summit, goes to great lengths. The organizers specifically hired data experts to plan the occurrence of serendipitous events. They develop programs to determine who to invite to the conference and who needs assistance with networking. They also use algorithms to analyze potential commonalities among guests and group them accordingly, placing those who might have more engaging interactions together. Additionally, the organizers monitor the open and crowded areas through ceiling-mounted cameras and guide those who are alone to facilitate more interactions, as human interaction is the primary pathway for serendipity. Have you ever had an experience where, during a casual conversation, you happen to hear a friend mention a job opportunity, even though you weren't actively looking for a new job at the time? But later on, your circumstances or thoughts changed, and you realized that the job you heard about earlier perfectly aligned with your needs. You were then able to contact that friend for more information. Now, imagine if you hadn't paid attention to that job-related topic during your conversation, or if you were engrossed in your phone, or if you didn't attend that gathering at all, you would have missed that opportunity. On the other hand, if you maintain a positive curiosity and an open attitude towards all the information and events around you, you're more likely to notice those green dots in your life. Psychology expert Richard Wiseman once conducted a study that revealed common traits among lucky individuals. These traits included extroverted personalities, creative thinking, strong personal charisma, and effective communication skills. They were skilled in using body language, maintained eye contact, and were generally open and warm in their interactions. As a result, lucky people often had vast social networks, and every social engagement had the potential to create new opportunities. Sometimes, a single fortunate opportunity could change a person's life. Therefore, from now on, it's essential for us to remain open to various unknown factors. We should step out of our comfort zones because, for luck to come our way, we need to increase our exposure to the outside world, connect with more new information, resources, people, and ideas. The author of the book also provides some specific social techniques to enhance our luck-making abilities. I've selected a few that I find particularly practical to share with you. The first method suggests that when you introduce yourself, it's more effective to talk about your inner state and reasons for attending an event rather than just stating your job title. By discussing why you're at a gathering and the challenges you're currently facing, you open up more engaging and resonant conversations. Sharing your real-life challenges can help people realize they share similar experiences, thoughts, and feelings, even if they come from diverse backgrounds. This openness can lead to more meaningful exchanges and inspire you. The second method highlights the importance of asking questions when meeting new people. Instead of asking what someone does for a living, which may result in a mundane response, use open-ended questions like what they're currently thinking about, what books they've been reading, or what they enjoy doing outside of work. Focusing on personal interests and experiences rather than surface-level labels like age or occupation allows for more genuine and expansive conversations, helping you discover common ground with others. The third method encourages thinking about how you can help new friends when you meet them. Consider who you can introduce them to and identify common ground between the people you know and the new acquaintance. Being a person who enjoys facilitating connections can make others more willing to help you connect with opportunities in return. The fourth method deals with hosting social events effectively. Instead of having attendees only introduce themselves by their job titles and achievements, guide them to share their recent joys, challenges, or fresh ideas. By doing so, attendees can identify connections and potential collaborations from each other's stories, fostering more opportunities and cooperation. To make your luck, it's essential to not only step out of your comfort zone but also sharpen your sensitivity to recognize and seize unexpected opportunities. Luck often lies in your ability to see potential where others might not. An open mind, keen observation, and taking action are crucial to capitalize on these opportunities. For instance, the creation of chocolate chip cookies is a classic example of a serendipitous invention. Ruth Wakefield, a homemaker, was making chocolate cookies but ran out of cocoa. She decided to use broken chocolate pieces instead, thinking they would melt into the batter. This led to the creation of chocolate chip cookies. If she had simply thrown away her initial attempt, this multi-million-dollar industry might never have existed. She saw potential where others might have seen a failure. To sum it up, creating luck is not solely about encountering good fortune but about having the perception and motivation to capitalize on it. An interesting story in the book revolves around an event caused by the 2010 volcanic eruption that disrupted flights across Europe. Many passengers, including entrepreneur and blogger Nassim Taleb, were stranded in London. With their schedules cancelled, these conference attendees found themselves in an unfamiliar city. Nassim Taleb seized this unforeseen opportunity and organized a TEDx volcano event within 36 hours. This event brought together over 200 social luminaries, attracted 300 participants, and featured speakers such as Jeff Skoll, eBay's first president. Through his initiative and quick thinking, Taleb created a meaningful event that added to his own energy and network. These stories illustrate that lucky people are not necessarily luckier than others. They are more attuned to recognizing opportunities in unexpected situations. It's not that they happen upon good fortune more often, it's that they perceive and act on it. Having a sharp eye for potential connections and being willing to take the initiative are vital factors in creating your luck. The third method for creating luck is to avoid fixed thinking. Knowledge and skills can be a double-edged sword. While being highly knowledgeable can make it easier to notice details and connections, excessive expertise in a specific field can lead to functional rigidity. Functional rigidity occurs when people become rigid in their thinking after accepting the conventional solutions to a problem. It's like the saying goes, if you have a hammer in your hand, everything looks like a nail. To create serendipity, an open mind, innovation, and adaptability are essential. Innovation often arises when people are forced to abandon their usual ideas or tools and employ unconventional methods to solve problems. Kenyan financial technology company M-Pesa serves as a great example of this. While many countries might have focused on improving their banking systems in the face of economic growth, Kenya skipped that step and directly embraced mobile payments. As a developing nation, Kenya's achievements in mobile payments have surpassed many developed countries. In highly industrialized Western nations, a plethora of ATMs, bank branches, and legal regulations may actually hinder exploring more efficient financial solutions. Therefore, if we can avoid fixed thinking and not confine ourselves to traditional approaches, we can escape functional rigidity and become more open to creative insights. In summary, this book, which explores the notion that success mainly depends on luck, may initially sound pessimistic, but it aligns with the realm of probability theory. Creating luck and seizing opportunities are skills that can be cultivated. Our role is to increase the probability of encountering favorable conditions because opportunity tends to favor the prepared. The author also offers several methods for creating luck. 1. Overcome cognitive biases, realize that luck is everywhere, and it's important to acknowledge and prepare for randomness. 2. Foster an open mindset, increase your exposure to the outside world and maintain your keen perception. Even seemingly frustrating surprises might hide new opportunities. 3. Avoid fixed thinking, maintain an open, innovative mindset to explore various possible solutions and discover the green dots that others might miss. It's worth noting that both the Italian research team's study, which won the 2022 Nobel Prize, and the book express a degree of dissatisfaction with elitism. For instance, the research team explored how research funds should be allocated and found that distributing resources more evenly among teams, rather than favoring highly talented groups, might yield better results. This suggests that even in resource allocation, the role of randomness should be considered. The success of each team is influenced by the randomness it experiences. Elite-style resource allocation might not always lead to the best outcomes. In the book, the concept of the hindsight bias of successful people is discussed. Successful individuals rarely attribute their success to luck, instead, they emphasize their strategies and efforts. They often downplay the influence of uncertain factors, as when people retrospectively analyze past events, they tend to rationalize details and downplay the impact of uncertainty. However, luck or randomness frequently plays a significant role in their experiences. This is why success is challenging to replicate. What we can replicate are certain behavioral patterns, such as expanding our social circles and connecting with available resources. In conclusion, we can create our own luck by embracing these principles. Congratulations on finishing another book. Thank you for your support and attention. Please subscribe to the Tim Booker Channel audiobook channel, like, and share with your family and friends. Wisdom is worth spreading to create a better future. Thank you, and goodbye.